Hello everybody. Today I thought I'd do a little bit more on the Skinner sprinkler systems. I didn't think we had done enough justice to it on the last video I did about 2 weeks ago. But I have all these other nozzles here. And basically I have 3 different kinds that are mixed in there. That one there is a 6-foot fan. The middle one there is a 10-foot fan. And the last one on the right is a 12-foot fan. So instead of putting them into the piping I have in my backyard, I thought I would just go ahead and build a new little short pipe about 10 feet long and display them that way. So let's get into it. I just shown a couple pictures from a 1960 Febco catalog that was still making the Skinner nozzles. And the next one is from a 1970s WeatherTech catalog. So what we're going to be using today for our little temporary piping is a piece of 3/4 inch Schedule 40 PVC pipe. And it's a little bit easier to manage than galvanize. But the wall thickness of 3/4 Schedule 40 is the same wall thickness as 3/4 steel pipe. So we're just going to use that. We can drill it and tap it. So what I use is a 1764 drill to drill the pilot hole. And then I use the 5/16 by 24 tap. Now I've already done all the drilling and the tapping in this pipe. There's 10 holes that are drilled and tapped at 1 foot apart. And to get these lined up, I actually used the black lettering that's on the pipe as a guide from the factory. Since it was all labeled that way from the factory, it's in a straight vertical upright row. So to keep all the nozzles lined up right, I used to use that as a pattern. So these are all drilled out and tapped. Ready to get the nozzles put in. Okay. And how we're going to support this for our little test site, I'm going to be mounting it on my copper rack out in the backyard that was used for the Santa Claus and his reindeer a number of years ago. It's now been converted. So what I do is I found some 1 inch by 1/2 inch PVC tees, and this will slide right on over the pipe like so. And then the outlet on the bottom, the male pipe thread on the copper riser will go right on into that and hold it. So we'll make it like a stanchion all the way. So anyways, we'll look at that. Also, I had threaded by the end of the pipe. You can actually thread PVC pipe, a 3/4 inch pipe thread. You have to be a little careful with it so you don't mess it up, but it can be done by using a regular pipe die. So again, this could slide right on through. If I was to glue on a fitting, then these tees would not work. And on the other end, it would be threaded as well. And I'll just have a screw-on cap at the end after it's already been assembled onto the test station. So I wanted to show a little bit more on the tapping here. Of course, this is all done with the modern hand taps. But Skinner had actually made a tool that mounted onto the galvanized pipe. And I'm going to show a picture of it. And what it is, it's a tool that would drill and tap the actual pipe for the nozzles. So let's take a look at that. Also today we're going to be featuring the old Moody hand turning union. You had seen this in the other video I had shot earlier, and but I had to make a repair on this. The threads on the end of that were snapped off, and that's why it was taken out of service, and I was able to rethread it with my 3/4 inch block die. And you see there was teeth marks there on the what was left of the shank there coming out of the body, so I could turn it and rethread it. All right, let's take a look at the Moody catalog for this. So the next thing we're going to do after we had repaired the Moody hand turning union, the one in here that has the pipe threads, the female pipe threads, will get screwed right onto to our new little Skinner line, just like so. And when we get done tightening it up, this handle will look up the same way as the outlets where the nozzles are going to be. And you'll see when we do our little test run out there how it all comes together. This handle is it just happens to be an old piece of 1/2 inch galvanized pipe. The old original one was snapped off and gone too, so I just stuck this in there just as a handle. So, all right, let's move on. Before we move into the backyard for our little test run, I want to show you some pictures from an old Skinner catalog of what the situation would look like when we're in operation. So stand by. All right, we're all set up in the yard now. And this is what I was talking about on the tees. So on the Moody swing union, it's going to look like this, and this will swivel. So now we're going to go ahead and flush the line out for the first time before we put the nozzles in. Okay, that ought to do it. Before we put the nozzles in, I'm going to go and check them to make sure they're not plugged up. So I have my little cleaning tool. Go right in there and come on out through the tip. Go both ways. There we go. And we're going to be putting in the number 12s first. Okay, see what happens. All right, let's see how this works. And we can angle the nozzles downwards using that Moody Swivel Union. Let's check it out. Skinner company did make what they called an automatic oscillator for the Skinner piping. I'd love to have one of those one day, but anyways, it automatically rotate the pipe up and down, whatever angle setting that you wanted. You go to higher pressure. Lower down to a lower amount. And you can even oscillate behind itself, which I'll show you. Guess I didn't get all the nozzles drilled squarely, but heck, it works for what we want to do. All right, let's move on to the number 10 nozzles. And before we do, I'm going to show another picture of the out of the catalog of the automatic oscillator. All right. All right, we have 7 of the number 10s. I didn't have a complete set of 10 of them. So there's 7 of the number 10s and 3 of the number 12s at the end. You can see the difference there. All right, we're going to add the number 6s now. All right, the first 4 are the number 6s. The 3 after that are the number 10s, and the other 3 are the number 12s. All right, what I've done here, I mixed them all up in a different sequence, starting with the first one where the hand turning union is the number 12. Then the next one after that is the number 10, and the other one after that is the number 6, and then it repeats the sequence all the way down to the end. So you get a different array of spray underneath the pipe. that about wraps it up for today on this episode of Old School Sprinklers with the Skinner line. And I want to thank all the viewers out there who watch this and leave the great comments that you do, and also the other channels that go along with all this as well and leave their comments. And without everybody involved on this, the old passion for the old sprinklers probably wouldn't be available out there. So a big thank you to everybody. I also want to thank Bill from Antique Sprinklers, who helped get me some pictures of the catalogs from the old Skinner days, from 1927 catalog that is. Thank you, Bill. And again, thank everybody for watching. Until next time, we'll catch you on the next one. All right.